Здравствуйте, товарищи, and welcome to, I want to do something a little bit different here. Pose a question, if you will. But before I do that, I want to talk about what sort of led to me thinking about this question. Basically what's going on is me and Diana like to watch movies together, and I'm a huge horror fan. I love horror movies. They're my favorite genre, and right up there is sci-fi. So, you know, if you got a sci-fi horror movie, I'm totally all over that. Love it. I'm actually thinking of doing like a top 10 countdown of like my favorite horror movies, because you know I'm just such a huge fan of the genre, and maybe we'll talk about why I'm such a huge fan later. But anyway, I've been trying to get Diana into some horror movies. Mostly it's it's hit or miss some of the time, and I've been trying to show her some classic movies that I really enjoy. I don't think she enjoys it that much, but she just likes to spend time with me, so it's all good. But anyway, yesterday she chose a movie actually. She went out and rented some movies, and one of these movies was called The Fourth Kind, and it was actually a really terribly done movie. It had a concept that I liked, but it was very, very poorly done with some very, very amateur filmmaking quirks and mistakes. And I remember watching this movie thinking that, hey, I would like to actually kind of take this concept, and if I were to ever make a film, I would take the concept that they did in this movie and remake it a little bit and cut off some of the things that I think they did terribly poorly, because I thought it was a very good concept. But it was basically about like alien abductions, and how there's like some kind of like aliens that are coming to Nome, Alaska and stealing people, and they try to do it in this really they tried to pass it off as a real story when it wasn't a real story. They had like real footage juxtaposed with the actors who were doing dramatizations of these real footage movies, and it didn't work at all. The juxtaposition was really terrible, and you had no idea what you had to pay attention to. And they also had really weird camera shots that plagued the movie. Camera shots where there'd be someone narrating something irrelevant to what was happening in the background, and random zoom-ins and close-ups of like random body parts. And then when someone would talk during one of these narration sequences, like subtitles would fly at you. Here, I'll show you exactly what it is instead of me explaining it to you guys. So Stalin was walking to the convenience store one day because he was thirsty. He wanted to buy a Slurpee. On his way to the convenience store, he saw a hobo on the street. He looked at the hobo, and the hobo said, "Can you spare some change, please?" Stalin grudgingly gave him change, and then continued on to the convenience store. He then bought a Slurpee and returned home. And those kind of shots happened like 7 or 8 times during the duration of the movie, and it was really, really weird, really kind of bizarre, and like I said, just full. This movie, The Fourth Kind, was just full of amateur and stupid filmmaking decisions. I mean, I haven't gone to film school or anything. All the filming things that I do is just stuff that I've either learned on my own or picked up on my own. And I was thinking while watching this movie, man, I could do something that's better than this. I could make a better movie than this. Which I actually might do one day, because like I said, it was a cool concept that I liked. But anyway, moving on to what I want to ask you guys is, after watching this movie, and to its credit, it got me thinking a little bit about aliens, of course, and whether or not aliens are in fact either among us now or off in the stars or wherever. And I kind of want to ask you, what do you guys think? Do you think that there's aliens already here on planet Earth, or we're in contact with aliens already, or there's aliens out there in the stars? And who knows? Because honestly, it's a fascinating question, and something that a lot of people think about all the time. And my personal view is that there are aliens out there, because I mean, what is there? Like 400 billion planets in this, I'm not sure if it's the galaxy or the universe that they worked it out to. But I think in the galaxy there's 400 billion planets, and like even if the probability of life happening is 1 in a billion, there's still 400 planets with life on them. So I think that there's definitely life out there in the galaxy. I think there's definitely life out there, But I don't think we'll ever come into contact with aliens in our time, because all the planets in the universe and all the worlds in the universe have existed for the same amount of time, because theoretically the universe is X amount of years old, so all the planets in the galaxy are roughly the same age. I mean, all life has had roughly the same amount of time to evolve as we have. So I think that if there is life on other planets, it would be roughly the same evolutionary level as us. Like, it would be the same technological and, mentally evolved state as human beings, because we've all had the same amount of time to evolve together. And I don't think there's another race out there that's super advanced yet and can travel through wormholes and the speed of light and all this jazz. I don't think there's any races like that yet. I think they're out there, but they're all at about the same level as we are. But I've actually heard some fantastic conspiracy theories. Not that I'm not a big conspiracy theory kind of guy. These are theories that I would love to believe are true, but I don't believe are true. But they're great to think about. I remember I was listening to a podcast one time, and in the podcast they were talking about, it was a technology podcast and a science podcast, and eventually they brought up the subject of aliens on another planet, because the guy, the host of the podcast, had been reading some stories and collaborating reports from both military and NASA higher-ups, and there was a theory going on. They were saying stuff like humankind is already in contact with aliens, and we've been in contact with aliens since World War II. And there's three types of aliens we're in contact with. One is a version. They look like humans apparently, except they're small and their skin is gray. So they look like humans, except they're a little bit smaller and the skin is gray. The second type of alien is a race of reptiles, like reptile men. And the last race is the one I find the most fascinating, is a race of sentient plants. And apparently the US government has one of these sentient plants. They've captured it and they're studying it, and they've called it Ted. So they have Ted the sentient plant in some base somewhere. And I really want to know how a sentient plant talks to things and how it communicates, and also what it looks like. So if there's any artists that watch this channel, listen to my videos, I want one of them to draw up a concept of what a sentient plant would look like. And like I said, I don't believe this, but I really want to believe it, and I really hope that it is true, because I think the concept of getting to meet aliens and talking to aliens and having a conversation with aliens is fascinating to me, absolutely fascinating. I'm enthralled with foreign cultures and meeting other people from other countries, and getting a chance to meet with aliens and try and learn a foreign alien language, to me is like amazing. It's probably like my wildest dream, is being able to try and learn to speak an alien language and get to meet and talk to an alien about the differences between Earth and their planet and stuff like that. So I'm huge into this kind of stuff. And I totally think there's aliens out there. But I want to hear what you guys think. Do you guys believe in aliens? Do you think we're already in contact with aliens, or do you think that they're out there? Let me know what you guys think in the comments field. This can be JosefVStalin signing off for now, and I'll see you guys later.